And I guess I am kind of streaming out a bunch of, well, not even a bunch. A file that has all of the stuff. I'll try not to spoil too much with it. I just happen to be in here because when I type on, you know, Twitter, it inputs that to the game as well. Captures all of my things, whether the window is up or not.
All your bullshit.
Yep.
Caught on tape.
Might just happen on the menu screen. I'm not totally sure.
Hmm. You're not like moving around as far as I can see. So.
Yeah, I have it up on the other screen, so I can also see.
Hmm.
Okay, I should hopefully have my shit together. Okay, yeah, it's definitely not loaded in then, if you just said hello to someone.
Yep, LaRose and Sheed.
I guess we'll see then.
How long it's been so weird for you?
Yeah, me neither. Doesn't like me.
No. When you go and eat worms.
Hmm?
You didn't have that childhood song?
No. Nope.
Nobody likes me, I think I'll go and eat worms? No?
No. Never heard that before, you crazy British person. If people are talking, I still can't see it.
Not currently. I will throw a test. Test?
Nope.
Oh.
See, if I pop out chat, it says welcome to the chat room. Maybe put something in now? It didn't say that before. Yep.
No, how can you not know the song?
Why?
How do you not know the song? Nobody likes me, everybody hates me. I think I'll go and eat worms. Big, fat, juicy ones.
No.
Eeny, weeny, teeny ones.
This sounds extremely British to me. Like exactly the sort of thing that British people would do in a song like that.
See, so you can't go, nobody likes me, because I just think you'll go and eat worms.
Alright, yes, I can now at least read chat, which is nice.
What's the game? Eat worms. Ha! See? Non-British people have heard that song.
I've never heard that before in my life. Whenever you say things that I have no idea about, I just assume it's a Britishism. And I'm usually correct, to be fair.
It's true, that is true. Or it's Scottishism, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're usually right.
Alright, looks like everything is up now, at least. We should hopefully be good to go. I actually tried getting it to set up with the, whatchamacallit, PS4 controller, and it just didn't seem to notice it at all, so... Guess I'm doing it with this, which is fine. I haven't actually had a problem with it disconnecting the last few times. I don't know if that's just because I've gotten better at not jostling it or what. Because my last few ESA streams were also using this. Either way, I think we can jump into it.
Alright.
With the non-shiny file that is 149% complete.
Stop talking about worms, I get it. I understand. Take a hint.
A worm-related hint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, now we get this music that feels like it belongs in like a hotel lobby. It's really hard to explain when if you can't hear it, but like, trust me, it is basically hotel music.
Mm-hmm.
In the evil temple here.
Nice.
So.
Good ambience.
Yep. if you'll remember, last time around we got to a room that was over here that says sealed gate on it. It's not marked on the map, but a thing of text will come up if you see it. And that had 4 weird sealed thingies on it. And then we went down a little bit and found a teleporter and also found the mystery orb.
Oh, we touched it, which is always a bad idea.
We didn't just touch it, we shot it.
We shot it, I know! Shooting mystery orbs is such a bad idea.
We blew up the mystery orb.
Against it, but he ignored me.
And a strange ghost thing came out. So,
I'm sure that will bite you in the butt later.
I can't imagine that anything bad will happen because of that. But that does pretty much provide us with the idea of this whole area. We have to go find the 4 mystery orbs and activate them.
Shoot them?
Yep. We have to detonate the orb.
Orb.
Sorry, Doc. If you don't know, MDCT's name in Eternal is the orb.
Yeah, the orb, yeah.
Oh, just for people out.
No, for other people. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I knew you knew. Anyway, so right now we got this one thing here, basically, or this one big shaft here. We went through 3 of these sets of rooms, and there's one more over here. And we also seem to have a door up on top of this room. So those are basically what our options are right now.
You know, instead of shooting the orb, we could just start talking about dogs of shape.
I mean, we could, yes. I won't
Probably do the
stop
same
them.
thing.
I won't stop people. So anyway, remember them mentioning that this place has traps in it? They were not kidding.
Cool looking traps.
Yep, this place has literal buzzsaws.
Woo!
This is a useful place to take note that you have complete invincibility during your dash. So.
It's Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, no, it basically turns into Super Meat Boy, including the blood all over the floor / meat-based product. I believe these do a lot of damage too.
Do you bleed? You are a robot.
I'm a robot, so I don't bleed, but clearly someone has bled here. This part is where it gets really fun because the timing on this saw puzzle is pretty wild.
The saw blades in this aesthetic are really strange.
Yeah, I like it though.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying they're terrible or anything. They're just slightly weird. It's kind of creepier that way.
Yep. Well, look, what do you know? It's another orb.
Don't shoot the orb!
I mean...
No!
I can't do anything with it. I can't jump on top of it.
No!
And I mean, there is a locked door elsewhere,
Oh,
so...
it's such a bad idea!
Well, there he go.
Oh, this is such a bad idea.
Yep, so that is orb number 2. Gets marked off on our map. Very helpful.
This is gonna go so badly for everyone involved.
Conveniently, this is at least, you know, just a little water section over here. And, oddly enough, you might think that's a wall. It is, in fact, not. And we end up actually in a room...
Whoa, spiky balls!
Yeah, but we are actually
pendulums.
completely cut off from these spiky ball pendulums. Ragni, thank you so much for the host.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed your birthday stream.
It was cool what I saw of it. I enjoyed it.
So anyway, we are currently actually out in space, and if I were to just jump off this edge right now, I would die. Same thing as, you know, back on the, yeah, actually, if you go look at, like, this section, or which is where our ship was, or this section where we're at right now, this dotted line basically means you're sort of at a boundary that is space, which means if you jump off to the end of it, you will die.
Yes, do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
I mean, we did just break another orb.
Save and do it!
There's something else to do here.
You can jump off into space and not show me.
I feel like I can get up this thing here. I just have to get the right orientation. There we go. No, come on. Yeah, I think I can get up here. boy, if this is actually this difficult, I may only come back and do it later, because this is absolutely going to take more than one try.
More than one attempt, not worth it.
Yeah, God, if that's not going to get me that, I don't have to do this each time. So basically, you know how I was talking about super long swings? What's going to happen if you manage to make it into this pipe is that there is going to be a diskette on the other side of this wall, which goes all the way up. And doesn't have any landing platforms. Like, I'd love to make this once just to show off what this looks like, because it's hilarious. Geez, that just doesn't want to go for me.
Nope. You're being thoroughly denied.
Seriously.
Just like nobody.
Ah, that would have made it if I had been in there. I can totally do this. There we go.
Way.
So. There's
Hello.
a diskette on the other side of that. Too early?
Aw.
Yeah, basically to get up here, if I can just get the movement right, I should be good. Yeah, there we go. Timing on this is quite difficult.
Woo!
So that was too low, despite the fact that I just flew like 500 meters up. This can be a pretty difficult one to get. That was too late. You basically like have to be moving ridiculously fast. And yeah, this is a really fun one. And I really like that they put something like this in as a sort of, you know, get a bonus CD thing. A little too early. Yeah, I think I need to just shoot that like right away so I actually don't get a ton of momentum from the swing, which would then let me go straight into this. Fascinated box. The diskettes unlock some art, and there are, I believe, 14 of them that unlock something else once you get all of them, and we will absolutely be collecting all of them. Got it!
Whoa, nice!
Yep. Oh, God. And now I have to actually, you know, make the rest of the jumps. There we go. I found a data diskette.
You did it! Good boy.
Yeah, Will-O-Wisp. This is something I've sort of talked about with respect to other games, where I really like the fact that the grapple hook in this game is grapple anywhere except where we tell you you can't, rather than you can only grapple where we tell you you
certain
can.
places.
Yeah. Of course, there is another block up there.
Ooh.
Don't know if I actually can get up here. Oh, nice. I can just barely hit that.
Well, hey.
We come up here. Seems we're still in this whole ruined state of mind here. At a lovely statue that I'm sure will not be relevant to anything ever.
I'm sure you'll never be up here again.
Nope. And judging by the rough map, it does look like there is a ceiling to this part over here, because you can kind of see. Hey, Darkman, thank you for the bits.
Thank you.
Whoop. So, worth keeping in mind. This is all that's available to us currently. Ah, yes, and all this time the music has basically been silent. Secret room. But now back to our cool elevator music. I'm gonna have to link you to this, because I swear to God.
That's what I'm imagining in my head. I don't think it can be better than that. Or that game that had like the elevator and the Thomas Tank Engine theme.
There we go. Meat Lovers Pizza. Thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
Ow. I probably could have avoided damage there. That's okay.
Damage avoidance? What's that?
A little useful in this game.
Nah.
Yeah, it's not quite Spanish free, but you know.
What is?
Whee! Nothing terrifying here. Yeah, you basically really want to just jump up through these things instead of trying to like bait them out, because they'll go real fast if you bait them out.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, they will win.
Okay, now that you've saved, you gotta go back and jump off the edge of space.
I mean, if you insist. It's not nearly as exciting as you're imagining.
I don't care, it's you jump into the void. It'll be fun.
You're the evil voices in my head, I guess.
You didn't know that already? No, most people have a conscience. I'm like the other one. I'm the evil. I'm the devil on the shoulder.
Whee!
Yay!
Ta-da! So, I happen to know, and you may be able to intuit, considering that there's a large empty space on the map, that there are technically 3 directions that we can go now. Would you like to take your pick? Basically, there are 2 secret doors on the left side of this thing, and there is this part up here. So all 3 of them are relevant?
Secret door number 1. The upper one.
Okay, up. Sounds good. I wasn't sure. I hadn't realized we had established a numbering system here.
It's just like a game show. I want to know what's behind door number 1.
Ow. Oh, those are spikes up there. Do be careful. Anyway, it can be a little tough to tell, but that is basically the doorway up there that is like lit in very slight I guess gray color. And to get over to it, it's not actually that hard. I say as I fuck it up. But you basically just get a jump going over the over from this platform here.
Quite difficult to see.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's tough to see on my monitor as well. They don't do those dark rooms very often, but when they do, they can be a bit tough to parse. That's a spider. Those are folly blocks, and there's not much we can do about this. Oh, well, I have some bad news for you.
Oh no.
As we walk into this large open room that
oh no,
couldn't possibly be a boss fight.
Giant spider.
So, while it has that thing, those like skulls up on it, it won't actually, it can't take damage, basically. This is really the first fight that makes absolutely certain you understand how this dash works. It's like if you've kind of mastered the dash, most of its attacks
are gonna get you though.
Yeah, most of its attacks are quite dodgeable. But if you haven't, then they are not.
I can't believe it uses its own children as attacks.
It's pretty evil that way.
Spider trade.
Harsh but effective, I gotta say, considering I have one health right now.
Kicking your ass.
The white attacks over here are basically, oh god. They'll slow you down when you hit them. The little spiders also moves faster than you, which again forces you to really engage with the, whatchamacallits.
That is true. Basically all spider bosses use their children as attacks.
All spider children count as an attack. Hey, I made it. Luckily, when you're going up through a door, those things are generally fairly, you know, generous, forgiving. Alright, let's go into this with full health and see if that helps.
That's the thwomps. I'm gonna guess no.
Thanks. So yeah, basically, you can shoot it whenever it doesn't have its skull shield up. Which basically means you're gonna do that in between its attacks. This chase isn't so bad, because you can basically just, you know, fly around it.
children that get you.
Yeah, the children I definitely don't have a good way of dodging right just yet. This one's pretty easy as long as you know that you can safely dodge through him. You'll do it 3 times and then you'll be able to flip. That is maybe a pattern you should keep in mind. For future reference.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never learned lessons from anything.
The globs also aren't so bad when he does the jumps. These globs can be pretty difficult, especially if they're 2 damage, but it definitely seems like the children rack up damage on me when I can't quite get it. That said, as long as you're doing charge shots to him whenever you get the chance, he isn't too bad.
Spider, pretty good this time.
The big thing about this boss that it's important to keep in mind is that you need to be good at dashing. Like, this was basically the boss that I died on a ton until I got the hang of dashing to dodge attacks, and that's going to be really important in the future. So we get 2 paths in front of us. One actually drops us straight back to the save platform, so we're gonna do that one.
Sounds
Oddly
like fun.
enough. I think there might be another save up there, but I'm not 100% sure, and I would rather be 100% sure. Those jellyfish things seem to keep flying over to us whenever we're in this room. Haven't really seen much of them otherwise, though.
Don't like.
Oh, there we go.
Scoot, scoot.
And then I take 3 damage.
Directly into a pendulum ball.
So an important thing to know about going up, and really about transitioning screens, is that there isn't actually any dead time for your controller. Which means if you jump up through a hole in the ceiling, the game will usually give you some upward momentum as if you're continuing the jump, but you will continue to have, like, you know, whatever controller press you happen to have, and that's why I just ran into a spike ball. It's not me, it's the game's fault, I swear.
I guess it's so you don't, because there's a lot of this vertical up, so
Yes.
you don't just immediately fall back down.
Yep. Yeah, the game tries to make it as easy as possible for you to not fall
Are you
down.
gonna shoot another haunted orb?
I mean, technically I'm gonna save first, but then, yes.
No, this is such a bad idea, right?
They make a lovely reassuring noise.
Sure they don't.
Well, this looks fun.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Super Meat Boy level. Yeah!
Yeah, we've now gone full Meat Boy. Let's see. Ow.
Embrace the meat.
Embrace Team Meat. Welcome to the graveyard of buzzsaws.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You know, I don't think I've ever actually seen this room. Now that I think about it, I don't know that I've ever actually tried to go up here. More fool me! Emerodromus!
Emerodromus! Thank you!
Thank you. Oh, we have gone full Meat Boy at this point. Let's see if I can possibly get out of this. I'm guessing no.
Half a month down.
Almost!
Fuck it up! Deny.
Yeah, no, the secret rooms in this game are all fantastic and I love them. Gotta re-destroy the orb. For reasons. Get there just to make sure it's marked on our map. I wonder if that actually gets, like, a name. Nope, it just gets a little black mark on it. Like, the thing about this game is that because it wanted to fill in, like, every single thing in this outline over here, it sort of left them with, like, single specific rooms where they could put things that aren't really, you know, that important, but still feel good when you find them. It's great. Yeah, and of course it's right next to a save point, which, A+, top notch, considering that, technically speaking, we're supposed to go through a gauntlet here to get back to the main part of the stage. But also, fuck that. Let's see if I can do this.
Nah,
Yep.
nah.
I could totally skip that entirely if I wanted. you're supposed to do this in a way that, you know, like, normally by this point in the game, you don't actually realize that these things are passable going downwards. You think they're one way upwards, so let's do that the intended way. These buzzsaws are sort of another, like, thing to make sure that you're comfortable with this horizontal dash mechanic that you have. Because, like, they really start placing them in places that require you to use your invincibility frames to get through. And they do 3 damage per shot, so it's like, you really can't afford to take too many hits from them.
It's like a stick to your health.
Yeah. Especially not with this fucking guy following me around here. These things, I believe, will actually potentially follow you around screens and also do a fuck ton of damage to you. Oh, and their after image will also do damage to you, so.
Fucking murd.
Yeah, no, this gauntlet right here is actually really difficult. Yeah, you can sort of see I'm getting punished here because I'm not willing to use my dash as early as I should. And of course, it grants you like half a second's worth of invincibility frames, so you have to be really sure with what you're doing when you do it. Yeah, these guys will give you a pretty lazy chase, so as long as you're getting them on the corners, you should be okay. There are also only 2 of them in this room. What's that?
What are they? Are they like giant eyeballs?
Yeah, they're giant eyeball things. There is a thing up there that I may be able to get with some clever stuff, but I don't think I can get right now. And given that I'd rather, you know, survive. There's also a big old hole in the space station. We've made it all the way to the top, and quite lovely up there, I'm sure. Oh, I accidentally just went into this thing. This is a hidden room because there isn't actually a doorway between these two. I just happened to walk over into it. One thing that I like is that you will totally see, like, you'll totally run into some secrets completely by mistake. You might actually notice that there's a switch on the other side of that door, and that actually leads right to that room on the outside we had over there, so this is basically a one-way trip.
Yep.
And yeah, that room is kind of the vacuum of space over there. You'll also notice that because these 2 rooms are connected, you can see the bottoms of the saws that were in the other room. By the way, important mechanic. You can't dash in water. I'm hitting the Y button now. You can dash outside of water. And these things will do damage to you if you hit them, but not if you don't.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. I've just said something incredible. Things will do damage to you, but sometimes they won't.
But if you dodge them, whoa.
Yes.
Whole new ball game. Stop myself again.
Whoop. Yeah, it's also like parts of the temple are clearly in the vacuum of space right now, given the giant hole in the space station.
That's why they sent you.
So anyway, if we take a quick check. I gotta get all the way around here so I can get up to here, and we take a quick check, we see that 3 of the 4 faces are nice and happy instead of kind of ambivalent about the whole situation. So clearly we're doing a good thing here.
Can't fool me. I know this is a grave mistake and it's gonna bite us later.
Now, there are 2 different paths here. I am gonna go down the bottom one first. Where there's, I think, a fish we haven't seen before.
Oh, a deadly fish?
Yep.
A very deadly fish! Oh! That fish does not like you, huh, buddy?
Nope. So now we get to dodge buzzsaws underwater. I am going to kill that guy while it's easy. Because trust me, every point of damage counts in this place. Especially because I can't actually kill this thing that is shooting those energy balls at me. I am just gonna have to dodge them. It is totally possible to do this saw section without taking any damage. Very difficult, though. It's actually possible to beat the entire game without taking damage, it should be mentioned.
Is that possible for other people or for you?
Haha, you know the answer to that.
Oh, I'm feeling mean today, I'm sorry.
At least those things go down in 2 shots. Meanwhile, all of this... Welcome to hell. Luckily, I am relatively proficient with the, I'm also gonna go this way.
Yes, Fisher. No, it's not how fish are friends, not food.
No, fish are attackers, not food.
No,
Fish are murderers.
Friends, not food.
So if we come up this way, it's worth noting that the entrance to the tomb, you know, like the proper one that was sealed off by a charge block, or by like a charge shot block, which means we actually could have gone into the opening to the temple earlier. And if you look at the way the map was laid out, the room we would have ended up after that is this one, which had a diskette in it. The thing is, if you hit that switch over there, because you can see the entrance to the room just barely, I'm sure, on your thing. If you hit that, it would have cut off the diskette, but allowed you to go over this way. So the way to get this diskette is actually to notice that there's a hidden exit right here.
Nice.
That said, we are not quite done yet. We actually can get down to here. A room with some jellyfish.
Hooray.
And a strange set of symbols. And, actually, no hidden exits.
Alright.
The reason I wanted to show this one off is that this is technically the wrong path.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deathspeak, I was saying, this is basically elevator music for the evil hidden temple underwater zone. Which is an interesting decision. By the way, going into this actually scrolled the screen, like you can see there's a proper screen transition, whereas the floppy disk one did not have that. Which means all the enemies are back. Which means that if I want to keep this floppy disk, I need to not take damage.
Not die.
This area is absolutely terrifying. It does give you a slightly easier way back, damn it. But you do have to actually hit it. Yeah, I took a bit of unforced damage there. So I could either go get that again now or get it off screen. I'm not actually sure which.
Try like once again if you want.
Yeah, I'll give it one more shot, and if that kills me, I'll just go and finish. Luckily, this is the optional area, which is why it's, you know, so much harder than everything else. It's definitely the more difficult of the areas. In a lot of cases, it's actually easier to just, you know, ignore many of the enemies that are coming for you here.
Ignore the fish.
Yes, ignore fish. Ah.
Ooh, this win.
Yeah, I was trying to go faster than before. It may have been a mistake. I mean, granted, these things are easier to deal with than the big fish and the things that shoot weapons at you because they have a set path. Double granted, they killed me last time, but for one thing, you are always safe in like the direct shadow of these blue ones. Another side thing, very important, you don't have to go all the way back. There's a one-way path right there. So
nice,
now, as long as I don't get killed by these spike traps up here, I should be good. Granted, they do 3 damage, so 1 hit will kill me.
Look.
Which is sort of the thing that I like, you don't really get these kinds of situations in games where enemies drop health. Where, like, You are legitimately, you can play out of your mind. You will probably die, but if you play really, really well, you can save yourself. Yeah, Cecil, I've actually seen that video.
I think I prefer Axiom Verge's style, weirdly, but, like, this was a clear stylistic decision. This wasn't like,
Yeah, Hempuli made a choice with what he wanted to do here, and
some of it's really cool. I like those features. Those features are awesome. There are definitely some stuff that I really like. Some of it doesn't work quite so well, like when it's really busy, it gets confusing.
Yeah, like one of the things about this game is that it can be really difficult to tell where the ground is in certain specific places. But overall, I do really like it. Oops. So we get a slightly less deadly maze, mostly because it's much shorter and we'll have a much easier path back. And also, if you take damage, you can... By the way, there's a thing there. I'm gonna actually just chill on this here because I know I'll be a little safer. But yeah, there's an energy tank over there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We can't get it from where we're at right now, but...
I can see the graphics not being your cup of tea, but it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
As a flaw.
Anyway.
It's a very personal thing, graphics.
I really like the graphics of this game, but I also absolutely agree that it is visually busy as fuck, or, you know, like, that it can be visually busy as fuck, and the smallness kind of can hurt it for that. By the way, the reason I knew that I could, or the reason I thought to try going in that other orb room's top left corner is because I know that this room exists. This is a room that will actually become relevant eventually. It also has some nice lore
You can't
for us.
have that in our secret rooms.
Intended to be used for preservation purposes too. So they were going to turn the entire planet into a thing, and I'm sure that wouldn't have had any sort of bad, you know, repercussions given that the moon already had a temple on it.
It's such a bloody bad idea to build on top of ruins.
Moon ruins at that.
I bring this up every single time, but it's such a bad decision. I have to say it every single time. You guys are morons.
Planet's still basically a rocky wasteland, but there is allegedly a teleporter that functions to get to the surface. God knows where that would be. Whole layers of secrets only few know about. Oh god, just you wait. There's also this lovely little boy over here. Or, you know, thing. Also, I believe, yes, if we go over to this, it actually is marked off with a question mark and says, the riddle.
Riddle me this.
Indeed. Alright, let's see if I can get through here without dying. Probably not.
Good luck. Very good luck.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out. We will have to come back in here once I accidentally do that. I actually do really like the underwater puzzles, or like, you know, the underwater maneuverability sections, because I feel like the, you know, full 360 degree movement that they give you in water is actually just a really good movement system. And so it makes it so that water sections sort of become their own puzzles instead of, like, you know, Super Metroid, where at first, and, you know, most Metroid games, where at first water is just, like, a pain in the ass, and you can't jump very high, and you move slow, and it sucks. In this game, water is, like, inconvenient, and you get your movement slowed, but then you get the propeller upgrade, and it becomes a completely new type of movement, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's really cool.
I feel like underwater sections in games suffer a lot from them restricting movements in certain ways.
Yeah. And, like, I really like that this game brings you to the underwater section quickly, and, like, you experience it, you experience what the movement is like, but then you do one boss, and then you suddenly get this full 360 degree movement that's, like, totally different from any, you know, like, from your land-based movement. I think that's a super good usage of an underwater mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, water is literally just don't go here for the most part, and then you eventually get your, the gravity suit that lets you ignore it completely, and it's like, that seems like such a waste, you know?
Yeah, like, the other two, like, water mechanics are nearly always universally terrible.
Yep. So since I banked up that much health, I'm able to just run over.
Nice. I feel like they have to, like, hamper your movement and do weird swim mechanics.
Yeah, and I think this game realized that that's not that fun, and that it could.
Yeah.
It had the chance to like actually do an interesting thing with it, with the propeller upgrade.
The initial swim mechanics are basically what swim mechanics are in most games.
Yep.
The hop, it's the jump and stuff.
Right, and like in Metroid, you don't
other
even
games
get
are like, shit, we hate it, so we'll give you a way to get around it, so you can basically just ignore it.
Or just ignore it completely, yeah. We'll make your movement totally normal in it, which is like, nah, I guess.
In this game goes, what can we do with the movement in water?
Yep.
Like, how can we make this interesting?
So, time to go unseal the ancient temple. Nothing bad's gonna happen here.
Oh, this is such a fucking bad idea!
It is very much worth noting that we did actually get a slight taste of what we're about to do. Because that secret exit that led out into space in that one diskette actually did go through this room. And there was the light bridge with the spinny platforms and blocks and stuff.
Yeah, have you never watched like a horror film? Unsealing the ancient temple is always a bad idea.
Oh no. It was a trap all along. Oh no. Welcome to the Flashman stage.
More spiky dick things that try to kill you.
Yep.
Is that just a thing in platform games now? Spiky dildos.
I mean, considering the last thing that we had for this. By the way, I'm not sure this thing is at all killable. This wall master ass motherfucker.
I was gonna say, I was trying to remember the name of. I was like, is he gonna grab you and take you to the start of the dungeon?
No, he'll just do a bunch of damage to you.
He's just gonna stomp you. He's just gonna punch you.
Boy, I just did that as bad as I could, which is really bad. We're gonna be doing this room more than once. Spoilers.
You dodged all those dildos, though.
I dodged the dildos, but not all the spikes.
No, undead Scooby. Unleashing Ultra Satan is actually a really bad idea. Not a plan.
It's the robe statue.
It's a robe.
So.
I didn't realize that was robed. I was like, robed?
The Rob statue. Thank you for the sub. I'm trying not to die.
Thank you so much.
So, the thing that the hand does is the hands are basically the tell for what attack is about to happen.
That lightning effect is really cool.
Whoops.
See, that's the thing about the graphics, is
it works really, really well for some things.
And they do stuff really well with it. I mean, like, not all deliberate artistic style choices are good ones. There are definitely games that, like, went with an artistic decision that just looks ugly.
So, now that we've done,
so
like, half
much with
damage to it, its weak point is now the flying mouth thing, so it's now even harder for me to hit it. Yeah, this is, once again, sort of, trying to manage all of your movement things, kind of, fights.
Dash dodge.
This one is extremely difficult to dodge before you know how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
This is also fairly difficult, for the reasons. But basically, it will just continuously throw attacks like this at you, and you have to manage your movement while still being able to shoot this guy. It's a very difficult fight, and I actually did really well at it there.
I think this, having to go back to that save point, is a bit mean.
Yes, this is definitely one of the few bosses that also has a corpse run. Luckily, it's not nearly as bad as, other games with corpse runs. It is basically get through this one trap room, and you'll get pretty good at that. Because, yeah, like I said, this is, the area, we'll be through this room more than once, so we'll sort of have the chance to, go through this with and without taking damage. Pretty good. The spiky dildos aren't nearly as bad.
We are still well in the main
Yeah,
game.
no, we are in game content right now. Post game is 5 times more ridiculous than this.
We're only nearly 5 hours in at this point?
I think that it's definitely in that neighborhood.
So
when the hands are both up and down, that's this spinny laser attack, and the direction of the laser is determined by which hand is up. When it closes its hand, it's the ball attack. Up and down, so it's gonna laser me in this direction. It is worth noting that we are deciding not to use the triple shot right now. I could use that to make this fight marginally easier in the sense that I wouldn't have to think about, like, you know, hitting as hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure I've showed off the charge triple shot, but I might have. But it's ridiculous. We may end up turning it on for this fight. We'll see how many attempts it takes. I'll at least give a few more tries. I will likely end up turning it on soon, though.
Yeah.
By the way, it is also easier to get through this maze, and by easier, I mean you can skip it entirely if you just use the grappling hook.
When is the point of the game where... Because you got the triple shot kind of early, I guess? Like...
I mean, the thing about the triple shot is if you go back and look at where it was on the map, you literally can get it the first time you encounter it as long as you know it's there.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, like, it's kind of meant to be something that you just notice at some point. The exact point that you quote-unquote should have it is kind of up to the person playing the game. The point where it is absolutely required isn't until, like, basically post-game content. I believe it is an optional item up until that point. A few unforced errors there. Which is unfortunate, but we'll give it a shot. I was definitely stuck on this boss for a while. A lot of it is just knowing
he woke up ultrasated from his nap. He's not happy about it.
Indeed. The, like, little things actually end up being a lot more, like, difficult than you would expect. They only do 1 damage, so oftentimes if you have to take a hit from something, you would rather take a hit from them, but they're very much like sort of distractions from, you know, the rest of the things that are more dangerous and bigger. And a lot of the fight is about, like, you know, understanding what things you actually want to dodge and what things you can afford to just ignore, more or less. It's also important to know that you can dodge basically infinitely when you're on the ground, and you should take advantage of that as often as possible.
Yep.
I think actually a thing that I had totally forgotten about is that one thing is much easier if you do it while, or that spinning one is much easier to dodge if you do it while you are, or if you just double like this. You basically have all the time in the world to get back into position even when it's moving at full speed. Come on, come on! Ah, damn it!
Oh,
yes!
no! Ah! Yes!
Oh, God!
Woo!
And that's what makes this game so much fun, even on a replay. Like, the bosses are still really difficult as you go along, and when you fight them, like, in this part of it, it is ridiculously exciting to actually end up beating one of them. So, if you'll remember, the whole reason we went into the temple in the first place is because we were looking for a hot suit so that we could then get down to where the AI is.
Where are the hot suits in the ruins of the ancient temple?
Well, you can't hear it now, but the music has switched over to the volcano section.
Oh, so we're actually...
The ruins connect back into the volcanic sector. By the way, when I first played this game, I actually forgot to read that and just fell down this cliff, and you can't get back up from here, so I didn't know what this said for a long time. Which is sort of double unfortunate, because I think this actually points you in the next direction. It's not too bad, because once you get the suit, you could always teleport back up into the temple and go back around, but I did in fact have to do that the first time I did this.
Whoops.
Anyway, so we're trying to get to the AI mainframe, but the security system has basically cut that off entirely. We need to get to the AI control room to try to find some way to, you know, deactivate this sort of thing. Map updated with the location of the AI control room. And that is down there. So, if you look at this map, you'll see, yes, we're not quite in it, but we are like literally right above it, and as we fall down, we will very quickly end up back in the volcanic sector. And it can be a bit tough to see, but there is basically going to be a path through the volcanic sector and up to this AI control room. But we're gonna need a heat suit for that. Luckily for us...
Heat suits are for wusses.
Wusses with 1 health. Yeah, I thought that might be, but kind of glad it's not. I don't believe there's... Yeah, if you actually look at the map, we are right over from the room right where we got the hook shot. Oh, there's nothing over this way. There'll probably be something over that way, though.
Do the save point.
Whee! Luckily for us, the game is not evil.
Yay!
Thankfully. And yeah, the heat resistant suit has abs for some reason. By the way, if you want, you can turn it off. If you're into that
gotta make
sort of
our robot look buff.
Yeah, our extremely buff robot.
It's gotta be a buff boy.
Or if there actually is a thing there might be. But that might not be till later, so fuck it. Ah, right, this is the room I was thinking of. Okay, so we're immediately presented with something we can't get through. And the tightness of this and just the overall geometry makes it so that you can't really hook shot through it either, so we're not getting through that with our current setup.
Backtracking required.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing here is making our way back over to the portion of the heat system, of the heat zone that had the hook shot in it. I'll probably actually go up and visit this, the entrance to the temple so that we can fill out these squares as well. Just because we're actually going to be right over there.
Can't leave a map square unfilled.
Absolutely not. This game is so satisfying to play for that reason.
You are that kind of person.
Nope. I have outed myself again and again as that kind of person. An energy tank that we can't get. Fancy that. By the way, our suit is heat resistant. It is not heat proof.
Hey, this is totally like a Bowser's moon.
Yeah. So, you may remember this room as the area that we could potentially have gotten to without the hook, or with the hook shot, but that I decided was not worth the trouble. So we have now actually connected ourselves back to the other area, which is nice. I think what I'm gonna do is actually hit up the teleporter that's downstairs and go to the entrance to the temple, basically. Gotta get a good swing going. There we go. Nope, not quite. These jumps can always be a little bit difficult to make. The game is really good about limiting your, like, upwards momentum in really creative ways. Oh, by the way, remember how we activated the, like, security system, or, like, the backup power before?
Yeah.
That had some knock-on effects, such as all of these doors falling down on us, which means that unless we're clever, we can't actually get to the save point. Luckily, I do in fact know that you can do that, so. Oh, right, we're going over this way. I might actually, now that I've beaten that boss, turn this upgrade on. Get the triple shot going.
Alright.
Fuck it, I'm allowing it. So, this is the triple shot. This is the charge triple shot.
Ooh.
The charge triple shot is the fucking order of business here.
Mm-hmm.
The charge triple shot is goddamn wild, because each of these shots is the power of a regular charged shot.
Nice.
So those were the charge blocks we couldn't go through, and this is the room that had the diskette in it. So if we hit this little thing, we block off the path that would have led to the diskette, and also the path that leads to the temple proper. But there is this way that we can go.
Yeah, combining upgrades is pretty cool.
And yes, the upgrades combine. The nice thing is that you can actually, like, you know, I can turn off the charge shot now if I just want a regular triple shot. There's not really much reason to do that, but it's an option. Also, you ain't seen nothing yet with regards to the upgrades combine. Just as a fair warning.
Some good ass shit.
So yeah, if you come over this way, once you get the charge shot, you can actually get a taste of the temple. This has a lot of the mechanics that the temple has. Oh, that was a mean platform right there.
Spiky ball and buzzsaw.
Yep. My favorite anime. Oops.
It's going well?
Yep. I'm very good at video games, it turns out. Oh, come on. I just got dunked.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, repeatedly.
Mm-hmm. That's what this room is for.
Clearly. Let that pass me by. Jump up on this. And then fucking Indiana Jones.
Hell yeah.
And then I fucked that up because I'm very good at video games. I mean, on the plus side, that large thing is not, or that large rock is not going to fall on me anymore. At least unless I leave the room and come back into it. Stop it. I know you're fake. I know I can get through you.
Yeah, fake hedgehog.
Yep. Friggin' fake-ass hedgehog motherfuckers. And we find a health tag. Importantly, this only ups our max health by 2. I believe I mentioned that the health tanks actually fall off as you go up, as you collect more of them.
That's pretty quick for a fall off.
Yeah, well, the max health in this game is 30. And
that is low.
If I remember correctly, the final E-tank actually does give you 4, which sort of gives you incentive to collect all of them. Mm-hmm. Which means that the first 2 give 2, the next some number of them give 2, or the first 4 give 2, give 4, the next some number of them give 2, and then the last few of them give 1 until you get to 26, and that gets you up to 4. And that gives you 4 to get you up to 30.
I don't think we do know who built the temple yet.
Nope.
If we ever find out.
We'll learn some things.
Well, it's just, we need to know who built it. We just know that building on top of a temple is always a bad idea.
We just know that building a science station on top of a temple is generally a mistake. But yeah, the thing I like about it is because of the diminishing returns that you get from it, it once again even more it makes the band of like lives that they know that you can have at any given point even more narrow, which is cool. Really lets them design the bosses extremely tightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, science and temples don't mix. There's no Reese's commercial that's like, you got your science in my temple, and the other one's like, you got your temple in my science.
Now, see, there's a childhood reference I don't get.
That's fair. That's a commercial for Reese's Cups.
Look, you get your Reese's, I get my eating worms in a childhood song.
Yep.
It's just division of labor.
That's fairly, that's a fairly good description of the American-British divide right there. So, one thing, we don't take damage from the molten section anymore. But you might notice that since we turned on the power in the station, there were a lot of things that weren't activated before that are activated now. Including more of these Bowser wheels. The Bowser wheels certainly do.
Everything you've activated just murders.
Yeah. I mean, you'd think that'd be pretty much par for the course. Now, I don't know that I can get up to this. And even if I do, there's a set of gold steps over here. But anyway, this is the way back to that we went the first time. If we look at the map here, we'll see that there's a door down this way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, this isn't a rebounds per game.
You're right, it is not a basketball
No,
game.
it isn't. No.
Correct, Bread Mage. So yeah, I would try to get up there, but considering it's not going to help me if I do anyway, probably best to leave that out. This is another Gauntlet section, by the way, so actually I'm going to go back and get my health back. In fact, what I am going to do with this diminishing amount of health I have is that you might remember that we saw very briefly there was another energy tank in the room that had a ton of garbage in it that led into this part.
Yeah.
And there's a door to that energy tank right above us. So let's see if I can make my way over to that.
I mean, to be fair, it was supposed to be our rebounds per game.
Yeah, that is true. We were going to play
Snow sort of cancelled that.
Final Fantasy before this.
I guess that it's going to be, it's rebounds per game, which is apparently a basketball term.
Yes, that's a basketball stat.
And for some reason, it's
That's what the text-to-speech.
Yes, what Mr. Australian Man says when you say RPG.
When it reads off RPG, which is kind of incredible.
And it's the only baseball stat it reads. Baseball, didn't I? I mean basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, basketball stat. Although I'm sure it doesn't read off any baseball acronyms either.
Probably not.
He seems to be the only one.
Yeah, we go through here, and now these Bowser fire wheels are activated around here too. So it's like, once again, I really like that the areas change as you, like, you know, reactivate the station and do various things to it. It's really like a cool little artifact of the game.
We are in the Bowser Kingdom, aren't we?
Yes. Very extremely. Alright, let's see if I can't. Oh, that actually would have worked.
Ooh, yeah.
I can totally do this. The immortal words of some cat I used to own. Ooh, we can do this.
We can do this.
See if I like. I need to basically like thread the needle here. That one was just not quite enough.
Yep.
That one was a little too late, I think. There we go.
Yes!
God,
Right.
I love the hook in this game. And it's like, we will eventually get something that makes stuff like this much easier. Like, we'll eventually get a movement tech that makes stuff like this much easier. But I really like that the game is set up that you can do these things and get these bonuses if you can make these wicked sick jumps. It's like, it's really well set up in that way, and I feel like this game is designed so well. Thank you, Bread Mage.
RARBIBBK average war address RFUZROBPOPS Babbitt FIP.
Those are baseball terms.
It said something in there, but I didn't get it.
It said K average, which, like, it just expanded out average, because K and average are set separately.
Like, I heard a word in there.
Ba fip.
Like, what was that?
Ba bap fip. Anyway, let's go the direction we're actually technically supposed to. Into this
He does say things like wicked sick. He is that kind of dude.
Wicked rad, dude.
Sick dodge. Yeah.
Alright, so there's a thing that I know exists if you go down here. You'll notice that you can go under the
It
lava.
does seem like something for summoning something like abominable.
So you'll notice that there is in fact, or like that this platform clearly doesn't go all the way under the lava. I am gonna give this one attempt to try to get this because it is actually it would actually be quite difficult for me to get back to the save point from here. I could do it, but it would be pretty tough. Which means that all the damage I take here might be permanent.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a shot. And it's worth noting that lava is basically the same as toxic water. I think we might be immune to toxic water, but I might be wrong about that, like with our hazard suit. But there is a diskette around here. That's all there is.
Oh goodness, oh goodness.
Alright, I'll see if I can get back. Like, I might be able to do a wacky swing to get up, because it's like my double jump doesn't actually get me up here.
Yeah.
But a wacky swing might. Have to be a real wacky swing, though. That might work. Might kill me. If it kills me, then, you know, I didn't really lose anything. Alright, now I just have to not take a hit in the next 2 rooms, which is by no means guaranteed.
Never gonna happen.
God help me. It's really just this guy right here. Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
Yeah, success! Woo!
This game lets you set up little challenges like that for yourself, and it's nice. You know, it's the sort of thing where I know that I will probably die doing that, but I'm gonna lose so little progress doing that. Like, if I do die, then I might as well give it a shot. And I feel like the game really fosters that kind of exciting play.
And that's why, sort of live systems have, thankfully, sort of gone out of fashion. Because nobody really likes it when games punish you by remaking you huge segments again.
So for the record, oh, we did actually end up seeing the bottom of that, but there's nothing down there, basically. Here's a weird enemy that doesn't appear anywhere except this one room.
Hey, buddy.
He will follow you to the ends of the earth.
Hey, friendo. He wants to be your friend.
Yep.
Your buddy.
Fly through him, or you know, you can dodge through him, and he will get stuck on walls. So we are going to abandon our boy. Of course, we're gonna find another one downstairs. Ah, right. This is a very secret room.
Exactly, do you hate sheets? Oh yes, that is not his fault he's covered in spikes. He's such a good boy.
But yeah, so I found a secret room. This room is not going to be relevant for a long, long time. But
those are some red and blue gaps, like the green ones.
Interesting that.
Certainly interesting.
I can totally get up here, I swear. There we go. Yeah, a lot of the time it's just make yourself fall a little further, but still manage to get the hookshot to touch, and then you can do some ridiculous shit.
I don't think you're even alive anymore.
Yeah, you know, this was written at some point. The passage. Couldn't have occurred at a worse time. We were just on the edge of a scientific breakthrough.
It's at least like a horse time to me because of the font.
Yeah.
What happened? Horse time.
It's the W and H are very difficult to tell apart from each other on this.
It's like when you do the hearing test of house and horse, the one that I got wrong.
Well, if I don't die horribly, then the rewards will be worth it. Have the keys, the gates, but what's the code? 4 letters. Typed on that weird stand.
Is it fuck?
Well, I could try typing fuck. Let's see.
Shit.
Nope. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Red Mage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It couldn't have happened at a horse time, being coincident with a unicorn attack.
Of course, we also
Thank
get this
you.
other screen,
Mm-hmm.
which,
Yes, that is certainly a made-up thing right there.
Quite a few things written over here. Looks remarkably like letters, doesn't it? Well, I'm sure that'll never come up again. Anyway, the whole purpose of us coming down here in this first room in the first place is to hit this thing over here, which actually activated a thing.
A thing? I love it when you activate things.
I know. By the way, this is actually a really well-hidden secret that we can't access right now because we can't go through these things. But remember how last time we saw one of these, there was there was clearly a room behind it? Well, there's a room below this as well. Keep that in mind for later. It has the, God, I'd say the most OP item in the game, but there's probably 2 of them. Certainly up there for the most OP item in the game.
Our buddy's back. He's
Yep.
so happy to see us. He just wants to say hello.
Yeah, he just wants to give us a big hug, which is actually
What a
terrible.
good boy.
He is, we gotta very carefully dodge him, and you can't do a dodge over this way. By the way, the thing that got taken away is that there was a wall on the other side of this lava well, so we can now go over this way.
Nice.
Yeah, if we take a quick look at our map, we are basically, that's making a shooting noise even though I'm on the pause menu. I hope I'm not swarmed by enemies here. Anyway. So we were in this room at one point. There was sort of a golden door and a one-way room there and a one-way like platform in it. So we couldn't get through here, but we could see that there were like, you know, there was a path through this way. So
Yeah.
that's how we're gonna get to the AI control room. Yes, it appears that there were things moving through the pause there because I took a hit as soon as I unpaused and it knocked me back into the previous room. So that's a slight error.
It's certainly a thing that happened.
This room can be hell, and this was actually the specific thing I was thinking of when I turned my triple shot on.
Triple shot on.
Because these things will shoot these little balls at you that sort of do that lazy chase thing on you, but they can like kind of fill the screen if they all stay alive. So just being able to attack them from like, you know, a 45-degree angle is absolutely gigantic. I can totally get up here. I just need to get a good hook going. Those things can be killed with 2 normal shots, but of course, because it's 2, that can actually make it, you know, fairly difficult when they're chasing you.
Yeah.
And another reason to have the triple shot.
Yep.
I think that's what that part is there for. I think you can totally get up here without a ridiculous super swing, but it's like easier. I can't actually remember how I've gotten up this in the past. I think if I just get a swing like through this little part over here, I should be fine. It's just, you know, getting a swing with a bunch of momentum there.
Yeah.
It's weird, I don't actually remember getting stuck in this room. The other nice thing about the triple shot is sometimes that'll count for 2 damage.
Yeah, nice.
Since, you know, you hit him with both the regular and the close one. The triple shot, it's ridiculously overpowered.
It's some good shit.
It owns and is good. I just barely can't make it up with that. There we go. And it's also like if you're not going through and destroying every single one of these guys, the room is actually locked on the left side. So you do have to destroy all of these weird spawner things to be able to leave the room. Here's a cute little homage to Metroid. This is basically a Chozo statue, but normally they would hold items. In this game, you can blow it up. Hello, Fenfel. And actually, there's not much we can do at all here, except for leave. So, this is the room I was saying we had been in before.
Yep.
We would be able to fall through this, but then we would have to go through the entire volcanic section again, and no thanks.
Yeah, we've seen that one-way trap thing before.
Yep, and that one is actually a proper one-way trap. That said, we will be able to get through here once we get whatever we can to deal with that gold block. Thankfully, there's a save point over here, so as long as you go down this way, you're not in danger. Fenfel, we just beat the temple portion of the game, which is this part up here, and then got the heat resistant suit. So now we are looking to go to the AI control room to activate the safety protocol so that we can then open up the security sector, which, spoilers, is this blank area over here. So that's our current set of goals in the game right now. Worth noting, I have beaten this game before, so I do know what I'm doing. No spoilers though. There's a lot of stuff to show in this game, and I think it's...
And I've never seen this game.
Yep. So hey, conveniently, we actually end up right in this AI room. Well, hello there. New phone. Who this? Where's it from?
God, I really need your phone.
Hopefully soon. Yeah, I love this game.
It's so fun.
Yep.
Thank you.
Spoilers, Jesus dies at the end of the Bible.
I can't believe you do this to me.
I didn't read, did it?
It read for me.
Oh. There we go.
Ah.
I'm not sure why that took a pause.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, loading skull.os. Preparing antivirus. Uh-oh. This is definitely another fight that the triple shot helps a lot with, considering the kinds of attacks that it has. Launch its balls out at you. It will, that one isn't too bad, although it can be a bit tough to do. Although this one is definitely the, screen killiest. Of course, when we get it down to half, it does everything it did before, but more. Much more so. I believe I did beat this boss last time with, with the regular shot. I might give that an attempt if I die on this one, which it's looking increasingly likely that I will. We'll see.
Triple shot is the power-up you can get really early.
Yes.
And make things a lot easier for yourself, and yeah, it is that one.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, we actually got the triple shot
power-ups
back during last stream, and I only just turned it on. I'm gonna try turning it off, although again, I may just turn it back on. We'll see. I really wanted the triple shot specifically for the one room with all of the bug things.
Also, isn't making a murderer sort of a spoiler in itself? Just title. We have gotten more HP in this game. We started with 10.
Yeah. So yeah, I think a lot of the time with this fight, the biggest thing is to just prioritize not taking damage. Which can be fairly difficult, but a lot of the time you're best served by, instead of going for him when you think he's, you know, when you think you can get a little extra damage, but taking 3 damages a hit, you'll be better off by just avoiding the damage and hitting him at a safer time.
So, did they take a pre-existing skull and make it the AI, or did they make the AI a skull?
This'll be explained, sort of.
I mean, either way, it's kind of a dumbass move. Oh, you're dead.
Yep. Yeah, when it gets real big like this, it's quite difficult. But yeah, the default HP count in this game is 10. It's, this game does not fuck around. Basically everything in this game will do at least, you know, a 30th of your health.
A 10 HP run of this game would be rough.
Yep, it's doable.
Oh yes, obviously. By regular people, or just like the insane ones?
By crazy people. I find that going to the corner
crazy
here
good
generally
people.
makes this a bit easier. So yeah, this is the sort of thing that the triple shot really enables, where as long as you have a 45-degree angle on an enemy, you can hit it, which allows you to fight it in much safer spots.
Yep.
This bounce attack isn't nearly as scary as it looks, by the way.
Smite gave up on the boss rush. Woo!
Yeah, no, the boss rush is there's a boss rush in this, and it is incredibly difficult.
Must be if Smite gave up on it. Holy shit.
I mean, it was like content added post-release, so it was sort of like this game was never really meant to have a boss rush, exactly. By the way, this gets much more, like, this, like, spin section where it was free damage before is much, much more dangerous now because it's huge. There we go.
Hey, Ty.
Hello, Ty. Yep, we are fighting the data skull. Why does it resist? I hope you're ready to get used to this data skull. Because it's going to be with us for the rest of the game.
Oh, we actually have a companion, will we now? Instead of being completely alone.
Companion's the wrong word for it.
Companion, he's our friend now! We beat him up and now he's our friend.
Yeah, remember all those computer talks about a virus taking over the station?
Was it this guy?
Let's have a little look.
We're the virus.
I've located the source of the virus.
It's us.
It appears to have entered the station from a nearby derelict ship. Maybe a robot brought it here after returning from an exploration trip. ... Seems the teleporter still has access to the ship. Marked its location here. Although you do need a password to enter the ship proper.
Oh, it's probably just password 1.
Probably. Luckily, though, you do not have to remember this sequence. 18466, though. So our map has been updated with the location of the teleport that leads to the ship. It is up over here.
Nice.
Way, way back towards the start of the station, which we actually haven't seen too much of lately. I also might attempt something dumb.
It's really not a very secure password.
No.
8 characters, all numbers.
Yep, all digits. Shameful AI folk.
You even wrote it down somewhere. That makes it even less secure.
Yep. Yeah, I wrote it down on a computer, no less. Like if you have to write down your Wi-Fi password,
it would be way more secure writing it on a
pencil.
bit of paper, to be honest.
Yep. So we got what we came down here for. Let's make our way over to...
I mean, we came down here to beat up a skull. That was our goal, right?
More or less. In fact, we don't even need a teleporter.
It's our goal in life.
We're just gonna make our way up over to here. Might actually check out what's up here, because we weren't able to do that beforehand. Hey. God, I love the hook shot. Any day now. Smart paper. Paper in the cloud. So yeah, we will find that the main area of the station is probably one of the most changed by the thing that we did last stream that turned all the robots and stuff on. Because there'll be a lot of new enemies in it.
I guess a tablet is just smart paper.
So now these spinner things that we haven't seen in quite a while are shooting orbs at us.
Yeah, those background things we've seen. We made them active.
Yeah, we've activated
doing
almost
that.
all the background things, in fact.
We really need to stop doing that.
Look, we couldn't get further in the station unless we killed all the plants, and we couldn't get further in the station unless we turned on all the killbots.
Still seems like kind of a bad idea.
Okay, yep, that is still hazardous to us, it turns out.
What here?
You'd think a hazard suit would help, but nope.
Oh, it's only flame resistant.
That's fair.
Or heat resistant.
Yeah, it's not that flame resistant given the fire. So yeah, that was the way over to the magma section in the elevators. Let's see if we can go up in this room. Yeah, we also activated these things. They're just little guns.
I do like that you make the old bits you have to backtrack through
Yeah.
more dangerous fight.
It just makes it a little more interesting, you know? Spices stuff up. By the way, did you know that this must be a teleport?
Is it now?
Yep. This is just useful to mark this thing off. You can also teleport to the same teleporter if that's what you're into.
You know that's what I'm into.
We can make our way up to here.
I would like to teleport exactly where I am.
Although, unfortunately for us, we're pretty much
Alright, it's a teleport.
not going anywhere here. Yeah.
Oh, you going in that teleport?
Nope, Mario. I legitimately wonder if I can even do this. Nope. Still looks like there's a weird indent on the wall here, huh? Weird that. Well, probably not important. Alley-oop.
I certainly hope they remove all your atoms a millimeter to the left. If they only moved some of them,
Yeah, that would be much, much worse.
I could get very tricksy.
So, of course, the station is still kind of a bit hostile to us right now, but, luckily that actually just has the effect of making this more of a one-way trip.
And then we beat up our AI and he became our friend, and it's still so hostile to us.
Yeah, about that friend thing.
He's our friend. We beat him up, he becomes our friend. That's how friendship works.
I'm afraid this game is not actually...
Anime.
I'm pretty sure this game is not
How it
actually a shonen
works.
anime, unfortunately.
It's a video game. It's how it works in games too.
Alright, I don't remember exactly how this jump works, but that's not
Definitely
going to
did it
stop me
before,
from trying.
yeah.
No, no, not this jump.
Oh, the next one.
I believe at this point we have all the tools necessary to get up over this. I just don't remember exactly what kind of jump is required to do that. And the very fact that I don't remember probably means I shouldn't be attempting to do this, but basically, you can get up here and unlock one of the most broken items in the game, shockingly early, basically.
Seems legit.
Isn't it? But that said, I don't know that I can do that, like, with my current ability set. Like, I know that there's, like, a special move you can pull to do it, I just don't remember exactly what that special move is.
What it is, yeah.
Worth keeping in mind, though, this upgrade that is sitting literally right next to my starting points, still not obtainable. That said, we are up to the room that has the teleport in it, and of course, we couldn't get through these dash blocks last time we were around here. Right, it requires a damage boost, that makes sense.
Ah.
Oh, hello there, Big Eye.
Hey, buddy. Hey, pal.
Heading towards a cargo ship.
It's our friend.
I can't follow.
Everyone I know you, buddy. You're our friend. Don't go.
So, you will notice that there are more of these blocks that we can't actually do anything about because they're, we can't dash horizontal through them. But we can actually take ourselves out of the station, off the station entirely.
Bye, AI friend.
Worth noting, we could have gone to this place as soon as we got the horizontal dash. Nothing would have stopped us from coming across here, and it is this corner of the map. So, let's go exploring. That's always a good thing to start off on, a good note to start off on. Time to close off access. Too dangerous. Hopefully the stuff we scavenged will be worth it, like the murderous AI.
I'm guessing not.
I mean, they brought back a murderous AI and God knows what else.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Murderous AI can be cool.
There we
I
go.
mean, they can be played by, Spader.
This friggin' right there. And of course,
So I'm expecting our skull man to just be, just chew that scenery.
Alright, just for fun here, I am going to turn off the triple shot to make this much harder for me.
For fun, eh?
Yep, this is how I get my kicks. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, so I need to like jump dive, shoot out, and get me in a way, I can hit it just the right time to shoot myself up there. That would have worked if I had remembered to double jump. Basically, this is much easier if you have the triple shot turned on. Because, I could have just, aimed up and shot it right there, for example.
Yep.
I had a really good one
Like
there.
making things harder for yourself, eh?
I do, yes. Especially these kinds of challenges.
Just life in general.
More or less. There we go.
Hurrah!
Max health increased by 2. So we're up to 24. Not too shabby.
Does that mean there are only like 2 left?
No. We're gonna start
max health
gaining.
was 30.
We're gonna start
Oh,
gaining.
we're gonna get 1?
Yep.
1, I see.
Yep. Yeah, I believe there are only 2 left now, though.
I mean, 3 left?
Yes,
I thought
3
you said
left.
the last one gives you 4.
Yes. Sorry, 3 left. I'm good at math. Using some fancy swinging, I can totally get up to that incredibly conspicuous ledge.
Hell yeah, we can. I like doing the one ledge in the top left. Don't
Yep. Yeah, the game has some nice touchstones. The funny thing here, though, is that this is actually a path back. No amount of fancy jumping is going to get me up that right there. The really nice thing about the game is that it's really good at setting up things that are like, doable by your hookshot, but it's also very good at cutting things off from the hookshot so that you can't just use it to fly up anywhere if you're good enough with it.
Yeah.
Like, the hookshot is very much meant to be a kind of item that can be used to break things, but in a somewhat controlled way. Which is neat.
Yeah.
So, if you had gone to the derelict ship early, this is where you would have been stopped.
And shut down.
So you could have still gotten that health tank if you had managed to do it, which is like, I think that's really cool because it's like, you're still rewarded for going to this place early, but the game doesn't let you access the full area until
You're supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the game is really good about doing that, giving you that subtle, like, that was sort of just a door with a key that blocks your story progress, but it still manages to feel like this is, open and interesting.
And rewarding you for going to places that you're not really supposed to go yet, but you can explore.
Yep. So yeah, I
like that.
kind of just cheesed that right there. I think what you can do is get a ridiculous hook shot going and some wild jumps. But you could also just use the triple shot if it's there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is sort of a ship that they basically, like, a ship that was abandoned and that they just decided, hey, fuck it, let's take it on, let's just take it over and bring it up to
they're
the
so
science
bad
station.
at this.
Yeah, no.
Building on top of temples, like, taking over strange ships, they have no idea what's in them.
By the
They're just
way,
real dumb.
this is pretty
Real
much
dumb.
how this mechanic works. If you stand on these things, they will fire a laser straight up.
Every single person in the spaceship station deserves to die
Or at least should be fired.
for stupidity and never having seen a science fiction like show slash movie slash book before.
We can see that this room actually connects over to the way back.
Yeah.
So I am going to instead look at that set of jumpy things. Whee! Some gold keys here, and I mean, we kind of did just block ourselves off in this area.
That was smart of us.
By the way, it's worth noting the scientists in this aren't just dumb for reasons of, like, you know, exploring an ancient temple, getting infected by a homicidal computer virus. There are other things on this ship that probably shouldn't have been, you know, brought back to society.
Good God, y'all. And look, I know all about scientific progress. I am a scientist. I'm a doctor and everything.
This ship they probably
God,
could have let be for more than one reason, I would say.
Ugh. There's scientific progress and then there's just lacking all common sense. Which, to be fair, is a common trait of a lot of scientists.
Those things make a real nice meaty sound when you shoot them, by the way. Oops. Well, I guess we're going this way, because I just shot through the floor. Yeah, they make a real meaty splort sound.
He's a big boy. I'm not quite sure what he is, but he's big.
He's a roly-poly big boy.
He's a roly-poly big boy.
And there's two of them in this room.
He's roly-poly. Let him go.
Ah, yes. Station has some extreme defense mechanisms.
As opposed to all those regular ones.
Yeah,
They're
just
so
normal ones.
extreme, triple X.
Head to the very bottom parts of the
Without a
station.
nuke, 'cause it's that extreme.
Of course. Yeah, ghost ships are a mystery. Maritime law demands that you send all of your scientists on it to potentially be, you know, killed by a xenomorph or hit by a creepy flesh-colored thing. God knows. That's just, you know, it's law. Security override, as well as docking
Goddamn
equipment.
STEM majors.
Yep, basically. So, it's worth noting that, right at the start of the game, we were told that we couldn't go to the main dock of the ship because it was locked off. That is down here at the security override.
Yes, basically, if these scientists got hold of a monkey's paw, they would
Yep.
immediately make 3 wishes.
Right. Well, they would make like sets of wishes and then record down how the wishes turned out, record how the person was, you know, ironically killed by their wishes. Then they'd have another guy do it. It'd be great.
These guys clearly did it to themselves.
Yep.
They weren't smart enough to use, like, guinea pigs. They would just be like, hey, 3 wishes, let's all make 3 wishes at the same time.
Right.
Let's
And then-
bring it back. No, let's bring it back to the space station so everyone can have 3
Yeah,
wishes.
and then write down on the computer as we die horrible ironic deaths.
I'm not gonna lie, some scientists actually are idiots.
Scientists
I
actually idiots.
I knew quite a few.
So,
although I was a chemistry major and we were actually the only sensible ones.
Of course. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So, still more of these blocks, but once we can open these, we are gonna end up in a very funny situation with that one.
Ooh.
Since we'll have to do a wacky jump to make our way over. But hey, it's worth keeping track of. Now, I think I might be able to get through this. Let's find out. This is where you gotta be real judicious with your jumps. And of course, the station is still actively hostile to us. Wow, this worked out so much better than I was expecting it would. There we go. We found the yellow key card.
Hooray.
Yellow barriers automatically unlock.
Oh yay.
Yep, so what this does is opens up those yellow things, which is neat. Whee! Rumble. Boy, this sure looks like a thing that, you know, like a strange path that could lead somewhere. Unfortunately...
Okay, that's true. A lot of the undergraduate chemistry majors I taught were dumb.
By the way, if you come here with like very low health, that bar is basically your worst fucking enemy.
It's your death. You just die.
It is possible
Like,
to get up here
for
without
the
taking
save point.
damage. It is incredibly difficult, and I have absolutely died here after picking up the yellow key
That
card.
save point is a complete taunt.
Basically, yes. So yeah, you will notice that there is clearly another exit to this room, but unfortunately we can't do much about it. Right.
Hello, please.
Yep. Alright. I'm fighting this the dumb way right now. I should be not fighting it the way that I'm fighting it.
Fighting in the dumb way. Yeah.
And by fighting it the dumb way, I mean shooting it at all is just a bad idea that you shouldn't do. Because basically every time you shoot it, it launches those little worm things.
Yeah, not shoot things. Not in a game.
So we're gonna attempt this again.
By not shooting it.
Yeah, we're gonna do the not shooting thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the game, I think the save point is really more just to help you out with Plague Hive. This thing makes some real visceral noises that you can't quite hear. So basically the way this fight works is that it will, you know, shoot its bits off at you. And that'll unleash this strange core thing.
Because as always, yes, intelligence doesn't necessarily equate to
Wisdom.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's definitely the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
There's a reason intelligence and wisdom are two separate stats. This fight is fucking terrifying. It's also fairly difficult.
Yeah.
Trying to think, it might actually be easier if I turn off the supercharger, so I may do that. Triple shot.
Yeah, yes, you're actually not accidentally shooting it.
As I immediately accidentally shoot him.
Well, not accidentally shooting him as much then.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll shoot all these little bits at you, and then that'll open up. One thing that it does help with is, you know, him shooting at you. God, it's almost a shame you're not getting the full oral experience here. Because this thing sounds disgusting, I should say.
As in the auditory experience.
Yes.
And not the oral experience.
Oral like AU.
Oh, okay.
It's worth noting that the underside of this thing appears to be,
Really don't want to eat that guy.
the inside of this thing appears to be a strange eyeball creature in blue.
It's really our friend, Mr. Skullman.
Maybe I should just not charge up shots so much, because it actually does help to have the horizontal shots.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing is just that these take 2 shots, but as long as you know, just shoot them twice, then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
I would thank for a follow that I am in the middle of something.
Magnolias. Follow.
Thank you.
This boss is super gross. I mean, look at that.
Yep.
Again, I gotta say, it's so like lo-fi like graphics, but look how gross that looks.
Yep. And it fucking comes out and attacks you.
Right.
You can just barely dash through this
bug.
guy, by the way. What you really want to do is kill these worms with a non-charged shot. So that, you know, killing the worms doesn't spawn more worms. So that you can then dash through them safely.
Yeah.
He has a very set pattern of what he does. So once you get a hang of it, it's not so bad. And yeah, guess what? This fight is a stage 3. Which is in water, and in which you basically, he just, you know, suicide dives you. And this is much better if you have the triple shot, because you can get shots at him much more safely. Woo! Plague Hive is gross as fuck, and I love him. It is just such a creepy boss that comes completely out of nowhere. Luckily, they do provide you with a save point right before and after. So yeah, we didn't actually go explore the top level of this because we accidentally took the correct path.
I've been there. I always seem to accidentally take the correct path.
Yeah, Plague Hive has a very Core X feel to it, except so much more visceral. Make our way out here, and our reward is another log. Virus affecting the robots? Ah, that's good. Scientists. Scientists.txt.
Yeah.
Taking notes as the robot stabs me in the chest.
Scientists.
Main objective appears to be ensure its own existence by destroying everything else.
Survival.
Yeah, it's ultimate survival bot.
Oh my god, maybe we shouldn't have brought it to a source of electricity.
To a gigantic source of electricity? I wonder who coded this! Wow, cool robot!
That's not even science, that's computer scientist. And
yep.
Yeah, I gotta say, every computer scientist I've ever met.
Wow, this virus is probably pretty elegant.
Of a fucking worm.
I have a big smile on my face for no reason. Anyway, it's time for me to do another jump challenge for a diskette.
I mean, if this was all computer scientists, then absolutely I know completely and absolutely these guys are idiots enough.
I mean, let's be real, this is just all scientists.
I don't know, man. Like, computer scientists are kind of the worst of all of them.
Oh, certainly, because we're not real scientists.
I interact with a lot of different types of scientists. Computer scientists are definitely the ones with the least common sense.
Oh, certainly. I'm not fighting that. I'm just saying this stage is like science blindness of all shapes.
Yeah, I have to imagine the biologists were in this shit. Ooh, giant plague monster. I'm gonna have a look at that shit.
Alright, let's see if I can do this.
Let's grow it in a petri
Nice!
dish.
One shot.
Nice.
Yeah, let's grow it in a petri dish. Ow. This is fine. I will accept this. Okay, I believe we have now gotten everything we can get on this station at the moment, or on this,
This was Axiom Verge is about how physicists are shit.
Yep. Run away! Make our way off of the station. We do have the golden key now, which means the world is kind of our oyster. By the way, having the golden key actually just made that segment a bit harder for us. That's kind of a hint, because there were golden key blocks that stopped those spikes from falling. The one upgrade that you will maybe consider turning off sometimes is actually the golden key. Oh, that was the rough map that I turned on. I'm good at this. Key card. Because sometimes you'll actually want to stand on the golden blocks. That said, that's actually very niche, so I'm just going to keep it on for now.
Yep.
It is actually double worth noting that the golden key is, I think, was the only thing standing between us and that power-up. Yeah, is it a new type of sorting algorithm?
Absolutely, computer scientists would bring a computer virus back to their base to study it.
To be fair, that was...
Biologists would bring a real virus back to the lab to study it.
To be fair to the computer scientists, it did come on a bot before they even knew it existed. And it's also worth noting that at the point where that was written...
Ooh, it's stabbing me, it's so cool.
And to be doubly fair to it, at the point when that log was written, it was just a cool computer. It was just like a weird computer virus that happened to be infecting most of the system, most of the space station.
Okay, that's cool. It's just infecting most of our systems, including our AI, but it's cool at all.
Yeah, it's neat.
It's gonna kill us all, but hey, it's cool.
So yeah, basically you can actually, probably with that thing, with that Geemer right over there, damage boost your way up. Because yeah, he'll just go out however he wants. Oh, this would totally work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you'd be able to actually hit him and then bounce up off of him to the point where you're on the space station, you know, like up here without the golden key. Because you can actually do that. However, we have it, so I may show that off on like a newer file. But basically, you can use those Geemer enemies to get yourself up all of this dumb bullshit. And, you unlock the vertical dash boost for doing that.
Nice.
So now we can destroy red blocks, and also, you know, given that we can chain all of our abilities to a ridiculous degree, you can double jump up and also vertical dash.
Nice.
So the world is very much our oyster at this point.
Nice.
And you know what? This isn't the most overpowered movement mechanic in the game.
Alright.
Somehow, you can still do more than the dumb shit that we're about to do now.
Yeah, I have to imagine the speedruns do that.
Yes, this just basically completely changes the way you play the game. But yeah, and that's also why that's such a big sequence break, because using that, you can sort of supplant the double jump, you can supplant a lot of hookshot places, you can, like, it's just so ridiculously powerful. God, where to next? I mean, technically it's, down over here. I hit the wrong thing. Technically, it's down over to here is our next spot, and that is actually one of the last places in the speedrun. But yes, it does mean I can break the blocks by the teleporter now, so I think what I may do instead, since we only have like 10-ish minutes, is, you know, explore some of the stuff that we can get in the station, you know, on all of these wide open blocks here. There are a few energy things that I know I can get now. Let's see, and the nice thing is that there's actually a ton of shit in this green sector that I know we can get, and I know we can get this diskette as well. Isn't it cute that I tried to do that? Fuck that, who needs it?
Get over the big green penis.
Yep, the big greeness. Ah, yes, this is actually slightly different. Technically, we're gonna end up in the exact same area. Let's pretend I didn't know that. I think I might be able to get up this. I might not. No, I totally can. So, this is the kind of shit that you can start doing now. Like, you get to this point in the game, and basically all of your abilities start chaining, and, like, weird challenge jumps become about being able to do just the right sequence of weird movement abilities, and it works shockingly well. Yeah, we can break these now, which is nice. We get a little more story through this area.
Nice, nice.
Probably isn't a larger patch of solid ground anywhere. Some areas blocked off, especially now that the whole station has sort of been blown up a little bit. But some areas are probably just forgotten. So we come over this way, and for the record, this is where this leads. So this is where we're right by the dick again. But this does allow us to do a thing over here.
Ooh, I like doing things.
It's fun, isn't it? So before we go into the screen transition here, you will see that we are kind of, you know, moving across from the main portion to the underwater section. And if I hold down over here, we end up getting ourselves out of this stream. So it's very easy to miss that and just be thrown back into the water section. But we can grab a diskette. Maybe it has some information about what the fuck went on in the system. And we were in this room very briefly last stream. But now we got the diskette. Ooh, there's another good thing I know we can do right now.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, I think I'll do some roundup here and then finish up without rounding up everything, but with going to the, we'll finish up and then next session we'll go and do the actual, like, next story part, basically.
Sounds good.
So, if you remember correctly, there's a teleporter up there that we couldn't actually get to. But now that I have this vertical jump up here, I can get up and expose the teleporter, which means as long as I get over to a teleporter, I can then go over into there and, you know, get whatever the fuck that is. Now, hilariously, there is not a close teleporter around here. That seems like it's a teleporter. That's a different teleporter entirely. You can see that one's gold. Sort of the same way that this one's gold. That means it'll take you off station entirely.
Right, it's a specific one to a specific place off station.
Yep. So, we could also technically go over to this room over here, because if you remember, these had gold blocks. I'm not gonna do that, for reasons.
Okay.
We'll be getting to know that room quite in depth eventually.
Intimately.
Yeah, we're briefly back in SeaWorld. One thing I can do here is get the energy tank that has sort of been taunting us. And I mean, it hasn't been taunting us as much as it was. We only saw it once in this stream. It's over here. It was like in a room that we couldn't get to, and then I died trying to get back to like the regular parts of the station. We can get that now.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult, but we can get it.
Ooh.
Alright, I used my upward dash. You actually lose your upward dash here. If you don't, or like if you use it and you're like still in the water, basically. Maybe I just can't do it out of this, huh? God, I hate these things. They're so annoying. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't get to it because can't do those fancy jumps out of water.
Nope.
What we can do is a really stupid fucking jump. Alright, so it's a weird thing, like the way the movement works in this game is that it's really hard to move to the side right after you vertical dash. So like tiny little ledges like this are better off double jumped onto. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Should have kept my double jump, I would have been fine. So that's what I'm attempting to do, like find a way to get up over this area here, over to that area over there and fall into that tube. This jump is quite difficult. Yeah, I think I basically need to get a jump and then get a vertical dash up to be able to grappling hook onto the part that block over there, and then use my double jump to get up after that.
Yep.
It's tough. I might also be able to double jump and then do the vertical dash to get up. And this is kind of what I mean when I talk about chaining abilities.
Yeah.
You sort of have to find the correct strange combination that will get you where you need to be here. If I can, like, get a thing right on the edge of the, or get a hook shot right on the edge of the platform, that would also probably help. This may be the last thing we end up doing this stream. There we go. That worked.
Hurrah.
It's all about finding the correct incantation. Max health increased by 2. Oh, maybe I was wrong. It might be 1, 1, and then 2 for the last one. I don't know how many of these we've gotten, so... Alright, let's go and not get killed by the giant worm this time.
It's a plan.
As far as I know, those enemies are unkillable. I think I mentioned that last time. We had the whole talk about Chuckya. Chuckya the unkillable.
Yes, the unkillable Chuck.
Hilariously, this part is actually much easier now. Like getting up around here. Now that we can move vertically. The vertical jump was very much made to make the system that much easier to traverse, or like the entire station that much easier to traverse. Oh, whoops, that was the wrong direction. I thought I could go through that. Oh god. God bless the supercharger.
Get owned.
Triple shot.
Overpowered, save your butt once.
Yep. And it is like you become this overpowered death machine, but the station's still pretty hostile to you, it turns out.
Still kill you at any moment.
Yep. Alright, I think what I am going to do is, because we're right next to a teleporter, I'll go through that teleporter. Oh, we just got a host, and unfortunately we're just finishing, although it looks like it is a 1 viewer host, but thank you very, very much, series of hiccups. for the
Thank you.
host. So I'll just pop over to this since we've been in the room now. And then I will attempt to get this and not fuck up. If I do fuck it up, then that's life sometimes. There we go. We found the plasma field. Our entire body is now a death field. So basically this is contact damage, but only if they touch those balls. And then, since we grabbed a bunch of diskettes, by the way, this is basically the entrance to the next area of the games. This is going to be a good place to finish up, but since we grabbed a bunch of diskettes, I am going to pop over to the diskette reader.
Nice.
Hop through nowhere real quick. Just because it's slightly faster if I do things correctly. God, you really do some land clearance with this thing. Could also re-reveal our old friend George Mellons. So now we got 8 of these discs, which means that we got new things, like the cave complex.
Nice.
That poor lonely child. The depths, which we saw before. Volcanic sector. The underwater sector. This is really good pixel art, by the way. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I love these little diskette things.
Yeah, real prey.
The jungle. The temple. Little spiked, the spiky dildos right in the corner. The security sector.
Ooh.
And notes too. Which, maybe that'll be relevant to us later. Maybe. Anyway, I think I will finish up here. Next time around, we are going to take on the security. We're going to find the security override and take that on. And then we will probably do a big item roundup because that's when the game sort of opens up more or less. Like basically, once you beat the security override, it unlocks the way to the let's call it quote unquote final boss. So we'll do a big roundup there. We'll beat the final boss, and then after that we'll do a secondary roundup because there is so fucking much to this game. There are definitely still quite a few streams left in this, and just a lot of interesting things. Because again, if we back out here, all of we've actually filled out most of the areas on the rough map. Like clearly, there's a big segment in the volcanic sector that still needs filling, but we have actually touched a very large amount of the rough map here.
Yeah.
So we cleared out the station pretty well.
Yep.
Either way, I hope everyone enjoyed this. I'm going to make my way back to a save icon, but we can do that after. Yeah, about all I got for now. Do you think Tuesday will probably be when we continue Final Fantasy?
Yes, I should be back up in my place by then, so I'll be playing Final Fantasy 1 on Tuesday.
Nice. And after that, you'll be doing more point and clicks on Wednesday, and I guess we'll be back to this on Thursday.
Well, no, I was thinking more FF1. Like,
right,
instead of this being on Thursday.
Right.
We swapped it over.
Each other. Yep.
Because I couldn't do FF1 today, so.
Yep. So it'll be a very Final Fantasy 1 kind of week. All right. Hope everyone enjoyed. See y'all later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you later.